Okay, good yantif, good yantif, good yantif. Tonight is a night of incredible merit and blessing and celebration for each of us and all of the Jewish people, because tonight is the night of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the anniversary of his passing, and a day which he said is a day of great celebration and blessing. And in general, whenever on the anniversary of a tzaddik's passing, it says their soul goes to a new higher place in heaven, and from this new higher place in heaven, they channel salvation upon the world. That's true for every tzaddik. But for every tzaddik, besides it being a day of celebration, it also has a morose, somber element because anniversary of passing. Not so with Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who said on the day of his passing that this is a day of great celebration. The Zohar discusses in detail the details of how he passed away. Rabbi Shimon was teaching Torah on the day of his passing. So much Torah, the quality of the Torah was so great that Rabbi Rashab said that all the Torah teachings that he revealed before that day were negligible in comparison to what he revealed in the last day of his life. And the Zohar discusses about the attendance of those who came to his house. The Zohar says that at first the house was filled with people, and Rabbi Shimon remembered how he met Rav Pinchas ben Yair, and he was choosing his place in heaven many years before when he was sick, and he had hoped that he would be able to reveal the secrets of the Torah before his passing, but apparently because there were so many people in the house, give a bracha to the God's family for hosting the Verbringing, for you and your family, for all good.
Only good. Thank you.
So Rabbi Shimon was, because there were so many people in the house, he was unable to reveal the secrets of the Torah that he wanted to reveal. The people in the house weren't apparently deserving of hearing all these secrets. Rabbi Shimon had promised that he was going to fulfill his purpose in the world and reveal certain secrets of the Torah on the day of his passing. So a fire came upon the house. When the fire came upon the house, everyone ran out of the house. Rabbi Shimon asked that only certain students come back, Rabbi Abba, Rabbi Lazar, his son. And then then he told Rabbi Abba, go call Rabbi Yitzchak. I promised Rabbi Yitzchak I was going to bring him into Gan Eden, going to bring him into heaven, and that he would live to see the day of my passing. So please call Rabbi Yitzchak, he should also be here. And Rabbi Yitzchak came in, and Rabbi Shimon told Rabbi Yitzchak, you're so fortunate, you're so lucky to be here, because I'm going to bring you with me to Gan Eden. And that was what was going on. And then the fire left the home, and Rabbi Shimon invited more students in, and then he said there were certain students who could stay, certain students who could not stay. But the basic idea was that the fire represented the divine presence. Rabbi Shimon declared, I'm going to now fulfill the purpose of why I was sent to this world. No one should say that I'm not fulfilling the purpose of why I'm here. And I'm going to reveal the secrets of the Torah. And he said Rabbi Lazar and Rabbi Abba should help him. Rabbi Lazar should write it down. Rabbi Abba should write it down. Rabbi Lazar should review what he's writing. And all of the other students should whisper it in their hearts. That's what he said. That Rabbi Lazar should review it. Rabbi Abba should write it down. And all of the other students should whisper in their hearts what he's teaching them. And that's what they were doing. He was saying the Torah. He's saying these deep secrets of the Torah. And Rabbi Abba was writing. Rabbi Lazar was reviewing. But then there came a point where he said this teaching, and he got up to the word Chaim. Chaim means life. And when he got to that word, he stopped. And so his student didn't want to look at him because the light on his face was too great. His son didn't want to look, his light was too great. They couldn't look at him. But when he stopped speaking, they... can you guys hear me, by the way? Can you hear me? When he stopped speaking, then another voice was heard saying the same word, life. And then he lifted his eyes and he saw that Rabbi Shimon had passed away and a great light was on his face. And that's how the Zohar describes his passing. There are many more details of what he taught and how right before he gave this last teachings, he said, the Zohar says he saw what he saw, indicating he looked into higher worlds before he passed away and shared some things from higher worlds. A similar thing happened to the second Rebbe of Chabad, the Mittler Rebbe, who really celebrated the day of Lag BaOmer more than all the other tzaddikim. The Mittler Rebbe on this day would go out into a field and he would drink, although because of his health he wasn't allowed to drink. He would drink and he would celebrate and he would give blessings, extraordinary blessings on this day, miraculous blessings, such great blessings that people would wait the whole year to come to him and ask him for a blessing on this day. There was a special blessing for people who needed to have children that he gave on this day. People would especially ask for this. I'm not sure why. Maybe Rabbi Shagalov knows why. But it could be that it has to do with Rabbi Shimon's own blessing of his own life. He was born, according to some opinions, on Lag BaOmer. According to other opinions, he was born on Shavuos. And it could be that because he himself was born through a miraculous blessing, therefore his day of birth is also considered a day of blessing for children. I don't know. Anyways, but the Mittler Rebbe, like Rabbi Shimon, according to some opinions, was born and passed away in the same day, Lag BaOmer. The Mittler Rebbe also was born and passed away on the same day, on the 9th of Kislev. And like Rabbi Shimon, he was unique in revealing the inner dimension of Torah. Not just revealing the inner dimension of Torah, but revealing so much of the inner dimension of Torah that it says that if you pricked the Mittler Rebbe with a needle, his son-in-law and successor, that Tzemach Tzedek said, if you pricked my father-in-law with a needle, blood would not come out of him. Instead, the inner secrets of the Torah, the Chassidus, would come out of him. So also on his anniversary, on his day of passing, similar thing happened. He was teaching Torah, and he was teaching the inner dimension of Torah, and he got up to the word Chaim, got up to the word life, and also his soul left him also in the same word. And his son-in-law, the Tzemach Tzedek, said that no one has passed away with such a great light, like Rabbi Shimon, that the fire was surrounding the house, representing the Shekhinah, and he got up to the word Chaim. There wasn't a similar kind of event of a tzaddik passing away like Rabbi Shimon until the passing of the Mittler Rebbe. So I want to share one story of the Mittler Rebbe, which highlights the value, the power of the joy you need to have on this day. The Mittler Rebbe had a kapella. He had a choir that would often play before him to bring joy to him and to all the Chassidim. And the kapella, the choir, was usually summoned on special occasions. Not every day. But there was one ordinary random day, it seemed, that the Mittler Rebbe said that we should celebrate and we should call the orchestra, the choir, and they should come with the horses. They had some kind of entertainment somehow with the horses that would accompany. They would play on the horses. The choir would play on the horses. And everyone should celebrate. Everyone should be happy. There's a time of celebration. And as they're playing, his son fell off the horse and got hurt. And the Mittler Rebbe said, continue to play music, continue to sing, continue to dance. And of course, their dancing and singing was a little listless after this boy got hurt. But the Mittler Rebbe said, continue to sing, continue to dance, and continue to sing and dance. And the Mittler Rebbe later explained that his son, Chas V'Shalom, was going to pass away. But in the merit of the joy they had, the reason why he asked him to sing on this day was to bring salvation and blessing to his son. And instead of him passing away, he only broke his leg. To me, this story is very pertinent personally because my son, also on Lag BaOmer, is now, Baruch Hashem, it's 10 years later, it's 11 years later. When he was 2 years old, he walked out of my house and he walked into Robertson. He walked in where Blockbusters used to be, where the Vendom liquor store is, I think it's Vendom, on the corner of Robertson and Gregory. He walked over there on the street, 2 years old, out of the house, and miraculously, nothing happened to him. I walked out of my house and you can imagine the feeling, right? Where is my son? He's gone. And then only a few seconds pass, and my friend Rabbi Shmuel Reber and his wife and another gentleman who had seen him in the street was following him. They brought him back. Baruch Hashem, he's alive and well, thank God. But and during that time, we were having a celebration on our Lag BaOmer. And I feel that as a merit of the celebration, that brought blessing to him and continues to bring blessing to all of us. So just by celebrating this day, it's a huge merit and huge schus to be part of this celebration. L'chaim v'racha.
I can relate to that, Rabbi, because when I was run over on the way to synagogue on February 13, 2021,
Wow.
I said, you should have died after the day.
Good yontif. So I want to share with you a story.
Where's the fire? Where's the music? What's going on over here?
You're welcome to bring anything you like. I want to share with you three stories. Three more stories. The first story I heard the first story this past Sunday, and I'm literally inspired the whole week of this story. Bori kala.
Wow. Give this guy a beer. He needs to calm down. No.
I shared the story with Rabbi already. I want to share the story with you, and I want to share the story with Dan and with Rabbi Shagalov. Unbelievable story. Yes. Right.
It's his word, it's not my word.
Right. Not exactly, but yeah. Rabbi Shimon Yochai said.
Don't be like the judges over there that they machshav South Africa וכולם ילדים של נוח, in Hague, spitting the words. פותר את כל זה לילדים וגמרנו, מה, נגמר הסיפור, מה אתה...
Okay, I think I should go in different order in the stories. There is right after Gimel Tammuz, 1994, right after the Rebbe's burial. There's a Jew who was an emissary of the Rebbe in Haifa. His name is Sagi Harshefer.
Yeah, I know him from my yeshiva.
Okay. So Sagi's mother, Tzipi, she worked in the government in...
He's Nes Tzionah.
I'm sorry, Nes Tzionah, thank you, Nes Tzionah. His mother...
My yeshiva brother.
Yes, I thank you for correcting me. That's right. He's in Nes Tzionah, and his mother worked in Haifa in the city. She worked for Shikum Hashchunot, Project Renewal. Project Renewal was this project to help people, poor people, and to help give them housing. And it was 1994. It was right after Gimel Tammuz, and his mother didn't know what to do because she wanted to ask the Rebbe what to do because there was an election between this guy Amram Mitzna and the previous mayor of Haifa, whose name was this guy Jarell. You know Jarell? What's Jarell's first name? Remember? Mr. Jarell lost the election to a guy named Amram Mitzna.
To be a big general in the army.
So Amram Mitzna wins the election, and he wanted to hire Sagi's mother, Rabbi Sagi's mother, Tzipi, to do a program called in Beit HaGefen. Beit HaGefen is this cultural center for Jews and Arabs. It's to make some kind of like a connection between Jews and Arabs. It has sports, it has all different kinds of things to help Jews and Arabs like do stuff together. So she wanted to know, she was working for this other guy, this Mr. Jarell, and now that he lost the election, and this other guy won the election, this guy, Amram Mitzna, she wanted to know if she should take on this position, or she should not take on that position because there's a whole big change. And she wasn't so sure about it. And she wanted to ask the Rebbe, should she take on this position or not? And the Rebbe, and how was she supposed to ask the Rebbe though? It was after Gimel Tammuz, right after Gimel Tammuz, Agad Yontif. Right after Gimel Tammuz. How is she supposed to ask the Rebbe this question? So she called her son Sagi, this rabbi, the rabbi in Nes Tzionah, and she asked Sagi, what should I do? I want to ask the Rebbe a question. So her son says, ask the Rebbe the question. How am I supposed to ask the Rebbe the question? Just you asked the Rebbe the question. The Rebbe said about the previous Rebbe that the Rebbe will find a way to answer. You asked the Rebbe the question, the Rebbe will find a way to answer. She didn't really believe in it, but her son is telling her she should try it, she should do it, what does she have to lose? So she sent a letter to the Rebbe on a Wednesday, right after Gimel Tammuz. Gimel Tammuz was on a Shabbos, right? Motzei Shabbos. So it was on Wednesday that week. She sent a letter to the Rebbe's Ohel. And her son actually asked Rabbi Klein, the Rebbe's secretary, to bring the letter to the Rebbe's Ohel. And that Friday, she went to her son's house for Shabbos in Nes Ziona. And she told her son, look, what am I supposed to do? It's already Friday. I wrote to him on Wednesday. He said he was going to send me an answer. It's already Friday. When am I supposed to get this answer? And how am I supposed to get this answer? What are you talking about? Her son says, listen, you wrote to Rebbe, it was just Wednesday, just wait. That Friday night, they're sitting together on the Shabbos table. And at the end of the dinner, his mother goes to her room and she starts screaming. She says, there's an answer. There's an answer. What's the answer? There's this newspaper in Haifa comes out, Kolbo. You know Kolbo newspaper? And Mr. Jarrell, the former mayor, he has a column in this newspaper. And she likes reading the column. The column's full of gossip. And because she's an employee of the city, she likes hearing the city gossip. That week, because it was after Gimel Tammuz, so the mayor wrote about his audiences with the Rebbe. Instead of writing about regular politics and gossip, he wrote about his audiences with the Rebbe. And he said that there was things that the Rebbe told me that I could never before reveal, but now it's Gimel Tammuz, I'm going to tell you what the Rebbe told me in a private audience. And he says this. He said the Rebbe has told me. He says many things about the audience. He's worked there for a long time. He's spoken 4 languages. He said, the Rebbe told me that he's very happy that there's a good rapport between the Arabs and the Jews in Haifa. However, he's very against the Beit HaGefen program. The Beit HaGefen program is a big problem.
Beit HaGefen.
Yeah. Beit HaGefen is this house in Israel that's built in order to create a rapport between Arabs and Jews. It's a cultural center. And the Rebbe said it could lead to intermarriage, and it's a problem. And therefore, the Rebbe said he doesn't at all think this is a good idea, and they should cancel this program. But they didn't cancel the program. In fact, it
is still going on today.
Still going today, and she was offered 1994 this position. I don't know if it's still going today. 1994. So when she saw this article, the Rebbe was against Beit HaGefen program, and she was considering to take this position on. She told her son, "I have an answer from the Rebbe. This is the Rebbe's answer."
Wow.
So the bottom line is that we have to realize that a Rebbe, a tzaddik, has no limitations. We can write to the Rebbe can find a way to answer us, and we have to be open with emunah, full emunah in the Rebbe, and our emunah is what channels, opens our connection to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe connects to us based upon how much emunah we have. The more emunah we have, the more of a connection we have. L'chaim, l'chaim v'racha. Let's say l'chaim for Akiva ben Bracha. L'chaim v'racha. Amen. You just came from there, and?
They told me not to go.
Was it Mashka?
But it's my fault. So I went.
Why?
And he opened his eyes. I told him he's opened his eyes. He's like, wow, Hashem, he opened his eyes. But I think he was sleeping. And I thought like, oh, he opened his eyes, he saw me, and he went back to sleep. Hashem, so I was like, oh, he's good. And I spoke to the nurses, and it's going to be a long road.
It's going to be good news, and Hashem has no limitations. And it should be faster than a long road. It should be a refuah. Shalom Akrev. Today's day, Rabbi Shimon Yochai. The Rebbe said, "Rely on Rabbi Shimon. Rely on Rabbi Shimon." All kinds of things. To rely on Rabbi Shimon. His day, and because of his merit, things happen. Things happen. L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim.
So I heard these fill in the blanks.
Go ahead.
That the Rebbe actually said that if you can't come to the Fidik Rebbe and you're in Israel, you shouldn't buy your class.
Wow, I never heard that before.
No, you never heard that?
It doesn't mean it's not true. I just never heard it.
No, I was asking you. I heard it today.
I heard something similar that a little bit the opposite. That well, it's not the opposite. It's the same actually. No. The other way around. Like if you can't go to Rabbi Shimon, you go to the Rebbe.
If you can't go to Rabbi Shimon, you go to the Rebbe.
Yeah, like
I would take a sip of
a barrel Weiss all of a sudden. He told me same idea. Rabbi Shimon Yochai is for sure. Rabbi Shimon Yochai. I heard the story from Beryl Weiss all of a sudden. Beryl Weiss told me the story himself. Beryl Weiss.
Oh, I heard from Getzi.
Beryl Weiss wanted a bracha for his son Howie, Rabbi Moshe Weiss, in the Shlich in Sherman Oaks for children. And he told his son, let's meet in LAX, 1989. We'll meet in LAX, we'll take a flight, we'll go to the Rebbe, we'll ask Rebbe for a bracha. So they meet in LAX, they fly to New York, and they get to New York after Ma'ariv. Unlike Beimer. The night after Lag Beimer.
Oh.
The Rebbe is giving out dollars, and the Rebbe sees Beryl Weiss. The Rebbe says to him, "Why are you here?" Which is a very unusual thing. Why are you here? Why are you here? He says, "I came to get a bracha for my son for children." So the Rebbe said, "So why don't you go to Reb Shimon Yochai?"
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
He said that?
He said that. So Beryl Weiss told me this story himself. I'll never forget how he said it. And he said it with such emotion, I'll never forget it. He said, when the Rebbe said it to him, all of a sudden, he said, I felt my entire soul. I felt every fiber of my soul. And I turned to the Rebbe, and I said, I want the bracha from this Rebbe Shpi, from this Rebbe Shimon Yochai. Yeah.
That's what he said?
That's what he said. And the Rebbe responded, Banu Mabani, sons and daughters.
Oh. Awesome.
Yeah. So definitely a unique connection, and you can go to the Rebbe to reach Hashem Yochai. Absolutely.
I'll tell you a story that happened in Tafshin.
Well, if you want to either say the story, you're going to be broadcast. If you don't want to say the story, you don't have to be broadcast. Choose. Yeah, go ahead.
In Tafshin in 1990, we had a chaver in Oliteda in our class.
Only English.
Speak to us. Speak to us. Don't speak to the camera.
I can hold it for you.
Those poor souls. They need to come. They need to come here.
Oh.
Not everyone can come.
To get off your ass and.
Hey! Dan,
I'll
darn.
teach myself.
What?
Don't worry, they see you. And they hear you.
Yisrael Baruch Gutman was a chaver of ours.
What's a chaver?
A chaver.
COVID is over.
A friend of ours in Oliteda in
Say a lot of coming
1960.
from New York. They can't make it.
In 1968,
They go to Rabbi Shimon, maybe.
we were 7 or 8 years old. His father, Rabbi Shalom Ber, and his mother, Dvera, Alea Mashalom, moved to Tel Aviv. His mother, Dvera, became the head of the Sheikh Chabad in Eretz Yisrael.
Who is this? What's that?
Gutman.
Yisrael Baruch Gutman. He was a shliach in Naharia. He was married 8-9
I used
years.
to daven in the shul, in the stiebel. Ik pak Chabad with the Zeder. Reb Zalman Gutman used to daven.
With the steckens.
With the steklers. The poor guy, yes.
It crutches.
Ik pak Chabad, yeah.
In any case, Tafshin Nun, 1990, a few
I
days.
feel like that was cinema. I feel like I'm the kakker.
A few days before
Gutman.
Lag BaOmer,
At least.
I decided to make a minyan. I had my uncle Peter Morozov and Yossel Rosenfeld, 2 from Dan Holle, and 8 of his friends, 7 including me. And I sent a letter. Those days I just got my computer, so I typed up a letter in our 10, the minyan's name, and asked the Rebbe for a bracha, for him to have kids.
For
Yisrael Baruch Gutman, who at that time was married 7-8 years.
so you were a minion of people together?
Right.
Where?
We wrote a minyan.
Where were you?
I wrote a note to the Rebbe in the name of 9 other people.
And where were the other people with you? They're with you?
No. They were just
Who are these 9 other people?
2 from Dan Holle of Oliteda, my uncle Mendel Morozov,
For administration.
administration, and Rabbi Rosenfeld.
Oh,
And
sure.
then we had 6 other. No, the numbers don't have.
And they signed the letter.
I signed for them. I called each one of
Okay.
them.
Fine. Yeah.
I gave it to Rabbi Klein in the morning, and I got the same day. I got an answer. Ask it all.
The same day.
Same day. I'm like,
Same day.
Before that ever went to the oil.
He said,
Same
I'll
day.
mention. Rebbe said, I'll mention you at the oil, and that was the words of the answer. Then they
And
went to
like
the oil.
8-9 years later, they had a children. They had like 3-4 kids.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken.
8-9 years later.
Yeah, they had kids. Yeah. Baruch Hashem, he was married a long time,
You wanna see the
and they had
That's
no kids.
18 years
I can
later.
tell you a story what happened with me.
That's 18 years later.
After you wrote the letter, it was 8 years later.
Right, something like that.
Okay.
Wow.
My grandson was born 10 years ago on the 13th of Aleph. Was born on a Thursday morning in Long Island. It was a whole miracle that the water broke a day earlier. So my wife, my son-in-law took my daughter to the hospital in Long Island, and the next morning she was already there. There was a very big snowstorm in New York. So thank God that she was there already. That Friday, as I used to go, and I still do, Baruch Hashem, we give out the Rebbe Sichas all over LA. So I had to go and deliver some Sichas in my area, in La Brea. one of my wife's friends, who from time to time comes to write in the Yigaskoidish, letter to the Rebbe, through the holy letter, the Yigaskoidish. So she came. I went out of the house, and she came in, and she wrote a letter. I come back an hour later, and my wife tells me, here, I made a copy of the page that this lady got a letter. And the lady told my wife like this, Mrs. Shagalov, I did not get an answer for my letter. But in the letter, there's a bracha from the Rebbe for the two of you for the birth of a grandson.
Oh, really?
In the Yigas Kodesh, there's the Rebbe writes first the whole letter, and it ends up, and Mazel Tov for the birth of your grandson.
Wow.
Very interesting.
Wait, this is before? This is before?
No, this is the day after the baby was born. Baruch Hashem.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Let's sing the small track in the Hine matoi umanoi oy sheves achim gam yochad Hine matoi umanoi sheves achim gam yochad adadada Tirira ya 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 na 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 ma 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 na 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 Tirira ma 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 na 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 Tirira ma 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 na 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 Tirira la ya la ya na you know, Did-it-a, ma, you know, Did-it-a, ma, you know, Hey, ya, ma, you know,
This is live?
It's very live. I'll tell you another story that I heard this week, and I did a little research on the story, and I found out the more details of the story. Amazing story. Rabbi Gershon Navson, the head of the yeshiva,